Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's breaking news comes from the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has praised the work of Israeli intelligence agencies after they carried out operations against what he described as top enemies, including Hamas operatives. Netanyahu's comments highlight the ongoing shadow war being fought alongside the visible conflict in Gaza. According to him, Israeli spies have struck individuals who were considered central to Hamas's planning and operations. He made the remarks in a press briefing, where he credited Mossad and Shin Bet with eliminating threats before they could materialize into attacks on Israeli civilians. Netanyahu said these intelligence missions were critical for Israel's survival. The Prime Minister explained that these operations show the reach and precision of Israel's intelligence community. He emphasized that enemies of the state should know they are being watched, and that Israel has the capability to act anywhere necessary. Reports indicate that recent missions involve tracking Hamas leaders, disrupting networks, and targeting financial pipelines that fund militant activities. These efforts are designed not just to stop current threats, but to weaken the ability of Hamas to rebuild. The announcement comes at a time when Israel is under intense international scrutiny for its military actions in Gaza. Civilian casualties have drawn global attention and calls for restraint. Netanyahu's focus on intelligence operations appears intended to show that Israel is also relying on precision, not just large-scale strikes. He noted that Israeli citizens can take pride in the capabilities of their security services. According to Netanyahu, these victories in intelligence are victories for every Israeli family, who depends on safety in their daily lives. The comments also serve as a message to Hamas. Netanyahu stated clearly that those who plot against Israel will not be safe, no matter where they hide. He said that Israel's reach is long and that enemies should be aware of the consequences. Military analysts say the praise for intelligence units is not unusual. Throughout Israeli history, covert operations have played a major role in defense strategy. From the capture of Adolf Eichmann in Argentina to strikes against Hezbollah leaders, Israel has long relied on intelligence as a key weapon. Netanyahu's words underline the continuation of that tradition. By highlighting recent successes, he aims to reassure Israelis that even in times of chaos, the country has powerful tools at its disposal. The war with Hamas has escalated since the surprise October assault by militants that left hundreds of Israelis dead. In response, Israel launched a massive campaign in Gaza. The fighting has devastated neighborhoods, displaced thousands, and left the region on edge. Within this wider war, intelligence operations act as surgical tools. Rather than broad strikes, they focus on individuals who play critical roles in organizing violence. Israel views this as an efficient way to reduce long-term threats. Critics, however, argue that even targeted killings risk inflaming tensions. Some warn that every time a leader is removed, others step forward, and the cycle of retaliation continues. This concern is echoed by international observers calling for a broader peace effort. Netanyahu brushed aside such criticism in his statement. He argued that deterrence is built not only through military force, but also through the certainty that enemies know they will be found and dealt with. This is not the first time Netanyahu has made public praise for Mossad and Shin Bet. He has often credited them with foiling terror plots and defending the country quietly, behind the scenes. Many of their missions remain classified, but the Prime Minister's words give the public a glimpse of ongoing efforts. International reaction to the announcement is mixed. Some Western allies see it as evidence of Israel's right to defend itself. Others worry that such public statements escalate rhetoric at a delicate moment. Calls for restraint continue from the United Nations and humanitarian groups. Inside Israel, the praise comes as a morale booster. The public has endured rocket fire, sirens, and uncertainty for weeks. Stories of intelligence victories are meant to provide reassurance and a sense of control. Still, the human cost of the war weighs heavily. Gaza's health authorities report significant casualties, many of them civilians. Aid groups describe desperate conditions, with shortages of food, medicine, and shelter. Balancing this humanitarian crisis with Israel's security objectives remains at the heart of the debate. Netanyahu's comments focus firmly on the latter, highlighting strength and deterrence rather than compromise. For Hamas, the message is clear. Israel is warning that no safe haven exists, whether inside Gaza or abroad. This echoes past Israeli operations that targeted militant leaders in countries like Lebanon, Syria, and even farther afield. Observers say this is part of a psychological strategy. By publicizing the effectiveness of intelligence, Israel hopes to weaken morale among enemy ranks and discourage new recruits. At the same time, Netanyahu is facing domestic political pressures. His government has been criticized for its handling of the war, with some accusing him of failing to prevent the initial Hamas attack. Emphasizing intelligence successes may help shift the narrative toward achievements rather than failures. As the war grinds on, both sides are trying to claim victories. Hamas continues to fire rockets and release propaganda videos. Israel responds with airstrikes, ground incursions, and now, this focus on covert action. The question many are asking is whether this cycle can be broken. Diplomats continue to push for ceasefires, but so far, the fighting shows no sign of ending. Netanyahu's announcement reinforces the idea that Israel is prepared for a long struggle. Intelligence operations, he suggests, are not just short-term tactics, but part of a broader, ongoing campaign. In summary, the Prime Minister has lauded Israel's spies for striking at top enemies, including Hamas leaders. He portrayed these missions as victories for national security and as proof of Israel's global reach. The broader context remains one of war, suffering, and uncertainty. Intelligence achievements may provide momentary relief, but they do not resolve the underlying conflict. That is the latest from Israel and Gaza. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and bring updates as they come. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and don't forget to subscribe for ongoing coverage of breaking events.